very clearly see that it was always the intent that this be shown in the cinema.
Blown away by the gall of this series.
He is like the purest like shonen protagonist that has ever graced the pages.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Undisputed Anime. This is the bi-weekly podcast where we like to give you news, reviews, and discussions on some of your favorite anime and manga series. I'm your host, Zane Taichou, your captain of anime recommendations, and as always, I'm joined by the man of 100 manga, Mr. Susude. How are you?
Very well. As you can see, fresh cut. Fresh
nice.
Face.
Yeah.
Ready for the weekend that is undoubtedly going to go way too quickly.
Oh man, how you got much going on, like reading or gaming wise, or anything at all?
As I mentioned prior to the show,
and
don't tell our friend Ray. I reinstalled Kingdom Hearts Final Mix to finish my trophy collecting that I started last year instead of starting Nier in earnest. A game that I was lent probably about a year ago and still haven't actually played properly. Other than that, just I got adult stuff to do. I got to be a husband. I do have D&D tonight. That's pretty fun.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm gonna go and play Make Believe for 6 hours.
I don't know if you follow Hideo Kojima on Instagram, but he had like a stack of D&D stuff the other day.
So I do follow him, but I've been over the last week. I just went. I'm taking a step back from social media. I'm gonna just not go on social media for a week or two. Just see how I feel after that. Because, like a lot of people these days, I'm finding that every time I go onto social media, I'm getting swept away in a lot of like negativity in the fandoms that I'm a part of. Specifically, like gaming fandoms, where gamers are just never happy with the games that are coming out. So I was like, I'm just gonna step away and just not for a bit. So I didn't see it, but I do follow him.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. But on the subject of Hideo Kojima, a beautiful segue, why not check out Zane Taichou at twitch.tv, where I am currently going through Zone of the Enders, a classic Hideo Kojima mech series. Ooh.
Give me Zone of the End. If honestly, I would drop everything I'm doing in my life right now if they were to if suddenly they were to drop a Zone of the Enders free announcement.
Oh, like, honestly, a third one.
Well, the thing is, like, a third one was meant to be a third one. Apparently,
really?
Yeah, apparently there was talks about a third one happening, and it just has never manifested. And it's obviously even less likely to manifest now.
Yeah.
But honestly, I like the Zone of the Enders 2 finished. Like, it didn't really leave any loose ends. It was like a pretty like great finish to the story started in 1. But yeah, I would love. I just there's just something about the Zone of the Enders like world building that was just so good.
Yeah. All the designs and everything are just gorgeous. I really
Jehuti and Anubis mechs are just
beautiful. I really hope he kind of does something with his new studio. Like, I know he's like obviously super involved with Death Stranded, but I kind of hope he goes back into that mech series, because I know it's not, compared to Metal Gear, it doesn't really hold a candle against it, but it's still a fun series. It's still a great series of games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and to be fair, like I see it more realistic that he go back into like kind of a mech style sort of game or story rather than a Metal Gear sort of one. I think that they really burnt some bridges with him, and I don't think that he would do anything that would which would lead people back to it at this point.
Yeah.
Not to say that he's spiteful and he would do that. I don't know. But if it was me, I certainly wouldn't want to like try and make like the something to replace Metal Gear, knowing that it might actually just drive people back to Metal Gear.
Yeah. I mean, he always drops little subtle hints, doesn't he, on his social medias about Metal Gear Solid and stuff. Yeah. I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN, who have given me, now get this, 83% off plus 3 months free. So if you've been meaning to pick up a VPN, now might be the time. Surfshark is a trusted VPN to help you protect your privacy online. Whether that's protecting yourself from malicious websites or if you're in a public Wi-Fi connection, you can keep your information locked down. Surfshark's clean web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. Plus, it lets you change your virtual location. So if there's an anime on Netflix that's not available in your country, but say in Japan, guess what? You're in Japan now. You want to use BBC iPlayer to watch all of Doctor Who. So pick up Surfshark using the link in the description down below and use the code Undisputed Anime, and you'll get 83% off and 3 months free. Check it out. Anyways, before we derail any more, today's episode, we are going to kind of give you a mini update on the anime series that came out this season, our thoughts so far, and cause it's been about 3 or 4 weeks with some of these series since they've started. So we thought we'd give like a mini update to see what we're still watching, what we've dropped, and things of that nature. Before we do that, I thought it'd be good to just do a mini review of Suzume, the movie that came out.
You got to see it.
I got to see it last weekend. Fantastic. Really, really good movie. I was blown away by it. That might sound like that might not give it as much as I would like to, much credence, I guess is what I'm looking for, in terms of how much I enjoyed it, but it is visually stunning. The score is incredible. I think it's a combination work by Wit Studios and Cloverworks as well. Both came up in the credits, which in my mind I was like, no wonder they've kind of cracked the code on that Ghibli style with Ranking of Kings, because there's a character in this that looks almost identical to Hal from Howl's Moving Castle. Apparently there's a Miyazaki reference in the movie as well. It's like a little Easter egg. So yeah, it feels like I think I said to you and the other guys, this to me was like on par with Howl's Moving Castle, like in terms of storytelling and just the awe of it. It's just
I know you don't say that lightly as well. I know that's not a claim that you would lightly make.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I don't typically do well with like romance movies neither. We joked about this, but when like
not enough giant robots, not enough punching and screaming.
Yeah, like to me, Your Name isn't as fantastic as some people make it to be, and that's fine. Like everyone's got their own particular tastes in movies and stuff, and I can live with that. But you know, as someone who doesn't enjoy Your Name but appreciates like, you know, how well receptive it is for other people, and again the visuals of it, to me this is exceptionally good. Just fantastic. I don't want to say too much because spoilers, but yeah, I was mesmerized by how good this story was.
Well, I'd love to come back, like circle back around to this in the future once I've seen it, because I would also like love to have a detailed discussion about it. But I'm going to take your job here and turn this back around on you. In your honest opinion, Zane, was this movie disputed or undisputed?
100% undisputed. 100%.
100%. Fantastic.
100%.
Well, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here. If you get a chance to watch it. Give us your thoughts in the comments.
Absolutely. And I saw it dubbed as well, which annoyed me a little bit because we booked it, me and some other friends, we booked it to see it subbed. And for some reason, it was the dub showing. So I'm not quite sure what happened there.
They got it mixed up, didn't they? They got it mixed up. And they were like, it's too late now.
It's too late now.
They won't be able to tell the difference.
Either way, it was a great experience.
Just see the person up in the projector room, like dubbed, subbed, like what they don't even know what that means. It's the same.
Just put it in. Yeah, it's only a handful of people. Who's gonna? But yeah,
nobody's gonna know.
There we go. Super. Do you want to kick things off with what you've been watching recently?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to start with, I mean, we talk about this pretty regularly, but Demon Slayer, new series has just started. Finally got to see an episode that I hadn't already seen, which is great. I was like, I literally looked my wife dead in the eye, and I said, "Listen, if you don't want to watch this right now, I'm gonna have to start watching them without you because I'm on a podcast who needs to talk about this." So we watched it, and episode 1 and 2 are now out. Second episode was exceptional. Are you up to date on Demon Slayer?
I am. Yeah, I'm up to date.
I think that what I'm really enjoying about it is Demon Slayer is something that I've read until its end. So I know what happens, but because it's been so long and they've like spaced out these series so well, I've completely forgotten about how the Swordsmith arc goes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's really cool to watch it again because I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like really cool. I'm like seeing it like I've seen it for the first time. And it's so good to see some of this stuff like animated. Like, I think that it's happening a lot more these days. But so often in the past, it would be like every once in a blue moon you'd see an anime adapt something that happened in the manga, and you're like, this is incredible. Like this, you took what was already amazing in those frames and made it look incredible, and we're getting so much more of that with Demon Slayer at the moment, and other animes as well. What are you thinking about it?
Yeah, I agree. Really, I have to admit, after seeing the movie version, I was like, I'm not going to really rewatch the first episode because, yes, it was a month ago, but it was all set up, and that's still kind of fresh in my mind. I don't think I need to sit through what felt like. Wow, I think its runtime is like 50 minutes, 40 minutes. I was like, I don't think I need
45 minutes it is.
Yeah.
And that includes some lengthy credits in it as well.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think I need to sit through this unless I need to see that hot tub scene again. Like, I'm fine. So I jumped in from the second episode. And yeah, like you said, it was cool. What surprises me most about Demon Slayer, even into this third season, is how much it can provoke a love of the characters like straight off the back. It has this formula where it makes you care about the most sort of like minute character. So it introduces you to Kotetsu, this boy who's in the Swordsmith village. He has this whole dream of recreating or fixing the doll, the mechanical doll with 6 arms. And I was like, oh my god, like, why am I caring so much about this character? That's probably, I'm not going to see for, after episode 5, it'll probably go in another direction. But it does this incredible job of making you care about any character and every character introduced to you.
See, I think I know what it is that does that. And the reason that you end up caring so much about every single character is because of Tanjiro.
Yeah.
Because Tanjiro is like the goodest boy. Like he is like the purest like shonen protagonist that has ever
This is very
graced the
true.
pages.
Yeah.
And he genuinely cares about everyone he meets, like even the enemies.
Yeah.
Like in the entertainment district arc, you get towards the end and you find yourself like actually caring about Dabi and her brother. Like you're
Yeah.
like, they had a real bad run, and
Yeah.
Tanjiro sees that because he sees what he could have been.
He sympathizes with them so much, doesn't he? It's the empathy that just like
and his
bam.
empathy is like really contagious, and it makes you really care right off the bat about the people that you're seeing for the first time. It's honestly great. Just to spiral back around to the first episode, which we obviously saw. I will say that having rewatched it, because I needed to watch it again because my wife hadn't been there in the theater with us.
Yeah.
You can very clearly see that it was always the intent that this be shown in the cinema.
Okay. Yeah.
When you watch the first episode, like the animation is great in the second episode, is always great in Demon Slayer, but there is so much that happens in the first episode of this season, which is very. It didn't look bad on a smaller screen, but it was so grand, such a set piece. Like that first scene in the Infinity Castle is 100% that was made the way it was because they were like, this is going to be shown in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
It's so grand and so well animated compared to the rest of the episode, which is well animated, but it's like taken up to like 150.
This is it, isn't it? I saw someone on TikTok, explain that whole sequence is just one panel in the chapter of the manga.
Yeah,
that whole 10-minute sequence.
It was literally incredible to watch.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have even cared if that was a normal length episode just to set up the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if half of it ended up being that. But yeah, Demon Slayer season 3 shaping out to be really good right now. Hoping not to fall behind on it. Hoping to watch it all the way through and not have any breaks.
Absolutely.
What else are you watching?
I'm going to choose some slightly like off the wall ones because which one do I choose first? I'm going to choose. I'm going to talk about this one actually because I watched it this morning and I was just blown away by the gall of this series. So I watched the gall of it. I watched this show this morning called Dead Mount Death Play. I think we touched on it last time we spoke. Like it could be a sleeper hit sort of thing, and the reason, the thing that blows me away about this, the first episode of this is fantastic. The animation is it's just 8 minutes of action, like 8-9 minutes of just like crazy action in a fantasy world. And what happens is, right, there is this giant skeleton Shimigami death god thing, whatever, that's attacking these troops, these knights, and basically the hero knight turns up. He's called the Calamity Crusher because he's just him, right? So he turns up and he goes toe to toe with this thing, and it's kind of like, again, 8 minutes of just like magic on magic. The Shimigami pulls together bones and creates a nasty dragon, and he instantly takes it down. And they have a monologue against each other during the fight that, the knight, the Calamity Crusher, he has what they call evil eyes, so he can see the spirits and souls that surround the Shimigami, and the Shimigami is kind of like a necromancer, so he uses that to fuel its magic. And then basically he the Shimigami tells him, he's like, you're no better than me. You kill, you murder, monsters and bad people and everything else. The knight is like, I'm no monster compared to you. You slay, because you see it as a game, and everything else. So anyway,
you're worse than me.
So anyway, it's the final attack. Shimigami has a massive beam of energy going into the sky. All the knights drop to their knees. They're like, oh my god, what is this? It puts up this huge spell that the knights like, I've never seen a spell like this. They clash. Everything explodes. And basically...
Love an explosion.
Yeah. Person wakes up in modern Tokyo. It's a reverse isekai, baby.
Oh no! I knew it. You got me. I was like, oh no. It's an isekai. A reverse.
I was like, where's this going? There's 10 minutes left of this episode. Like, holy, like, whoa. Anyways, yeah, there's 10 minutes left. It's reverse isekai. He's in modern Tokyo. I'll
kill you. I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna punch you. Forget me like that.
The thing is with this though, he wakes up and it's a body that had perished. Like someone had taken the life of this body because walking around with a cut on his neck, and basically people notice that he's walking around. They try to attack. They take him to an area and they try to attack him again. At the same time, he's kind of like, where am I? The words and symbols look different, blah, 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 blah. They try to attack him. He's like, there's no magic in the air. I don't know what's going on. And then this person tells him, look, where we're fighting right now, people avoid this area because the Yakuza used to use it. So there's loads of like ghosts and things around here. And he's like, wait a minute, I can see them because I've got evil eyes. And you're like, oh, okay. And then next thing you know, he uses a magic spell, but it's a skeleton hand. And you're like, oh my god, it's the necromancer. The necromancer had isekai'd, not the hero.
So it's a reverse.
It's a reverse on a reverse. And it's like, call me Uno, because my god, like... And yeah, I was like, what a first episode. It slapped
Honestly,
me twice before I knew it.
I had seen a clip on TikTok, which I'm guessing was this anime. So, and it did look like super cool. I got more context for it now because I was like, oh, what's this? And now I've got a bit more context, so I might actually watch it myself. And it looks like it's got a manga as well, and I do love binge reading manga. So let's write that down.
Add it to your list, because wow, like if the action I saw in that first 10 minutes is like this for the rest of the season, I'm sold. Like this is fantastic. But yeah, to do a bait and switch, and I fell for it as a seasonal vet.
They got him.
They punked me. Yeah.
And it's ongoing. Okay. I'm down with this. But there's not been an update since July of last year.
Ooh.
So, am I ready to set myself up for hurt? We'll see. I'll check back in with you like next week probably.
Okay.
Let you know how that's going. So my next thing I've been watching, I believe you've also been watching this, Mashal.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely hilarious. I knew it would be. I'm a big fan of the Mashal manga, and I think that the anime's released at a really good time because it really feels like the manga is at its like kind of closing. It's at its like pinnacle moment for the story. So it's just as hilarious as you'd imagine. I honestly love everything that it does to like kind of turn this whole school, like person who didn't go to a school of magic now goes to a school of magic thing on its head. Especially because this is someone who has no magic whatsoever, and they just game the system the entire time through sheer physical willpower.
Absolutely, yeah. It's it really is the combination of, imagine, One Punch Man in the Harry Potter universe. Like, it's probably the easiest way to explain it. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's a true sort of gag. It feels like a gag manga at the moment, or a gag anime, just off the first 3 episodes. Because I don't think there's anything so far that's kind of pushed the narrative, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I think it's very much in the same vein as One Punch Man or Mob Psycho 100, in that it's very lighthearted most of the time.
Yeah.
And then you'll have these like every like arc, you have these like kind of moments where it's like literally amps it up to like 150, and all of a sudden it's a battle like manga.
Yeah.
And then it'll like go back into being very lighthearted again.
So that's what I'm looking forward to, because I know at the moment it's just kind of like every other episode's just been kind of play off the laughs. But I'm really looking forward to when it's like super, animated, like fight sequences.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really looking forward to, to see what MASH is like, pushed to his limit sort of thing. Even though at the moment it's just like, learn to fly on a broom, and he's like, I can't fly. So he throws the broom and then jumps on it, like to give the illusion that he's flying. It's brilliant,
so
but it's kind of
he has a very all-mightness about him. In that it's like his whole, even though he doesn't say it in this exact way, it's kind of like every time he encounters something that everyone's like, you can't get past this because you don't have magic, he's like, then I'm just gonna have to go beyond.
Yeah,
I'm just
with
gonna
my
have
hands
to smash through that wall with my fists. So yeah, I don't have a ton to say about it. It's only like 2 episodes in. Might be a 3rd episode out now. I've not yet. Super fun. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're looking for something a little bit lighter.
Yeah, really fun. I like the color palette on this a lot. It's very vibrant. I'm surprised they really kept to the art style as well. I thought they may adjust it for the anime, but it seems pretty faithful so far. So yeah, it's been fun so far, more than anything. Excellent. So so another thing I've been watching, again, this one has what can I say about this one? This one okay.
You can't even get there, guys.
I can't.
I'm worried.
I'm fine. I'm struggling to find the words. So this series that I've watched, which it has a super long title. Let me see if I can find the translated version. Okay, so the translated version is, I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. So this is an isekai. The title kind of gives that away.
Very isekai title.
The premise is, and I don't know if this is kind of I'm getting ahead of myself. So the premise of this is that the main character is this kind of like overweight guy who's just like had no luck on friends and family because of his appearance, and this has kind of left him. He has no faith or confidence in himself, sort of thing. His grandfather sadly passed away, who was like his only friend, and he inherited his grandfather's house and stuff, and it's left him to kind of fend for himself. Like, he has a part-time job and all this other stuff, and he gets bullied at school, beaten up. It's really sad. And the one time his grandfather instilled these like morals that, you should always do good and, never waver and stuff. So this one time he sees this girl getting like harassed by these thugs. This one time he tries to, step up. He gets mercilessly beaten up, and he just kind of like goes home and cries and all this stuff. It's really, really pulls on your heartstrings. The crazy thing about this is, like, because of his appearance and stuff, he hates his world that he's in, and he ends up smashing mirrors and all this other things. And basically he then discovers, because he's punching walls, because, lashing out, he discovers this fake wall in his grandfather's house. And then he goes through it, and it's kind of like this weird sort of study / trophy room, whatever you want to call it. And in that room, there's another door that has like an crazy, sigil on it or whatever. He goes through, and it's a cabin in the woods. And in that cabin, there's a letter on the table, and it's like, hey, if you find this house, you own everything in the house from this age. And he's like, well, I guess I live here now. So anyway, he starts going through it, and it's like this incredible like OP sword. Of course, all these pop-up menus come up, and he then, he learns he's in an isekai. So then what's crazy about this is, sure, he's kind of stumbled in the world, and it's kind of like the most simplest way possible. But then he spends like his whole summer just like learning bit by bit about this world. So he learns that there's plants there, so he carries on growing the plants. He learns there's all these super weapons. He learns that if beyond the fence of the actual little cabin, there's like a protective spell, so like no ogres or goblins can get in. So what he starts to do is kind of use the weapons to kill the goblins from the other side of the fence. Like just clumsily, like he'll throw a spear and it will just like destroy this like ogre for no good reason, because the weapon's obviously so OP. Because the sage that owned it doesn't take 2 minutes to figure out who the sage was, but to him, he's like, I wonder who this sage is. This sage has such amazing weapons. But the funny thing about it is, like, he does all of this, and he can convert it into real money. So, like, all of the jewels he picks up from these monsters he kills, it can be then converted into real yen, and then he could bring it back into the world. So bro spends the whole summer doing this, and then he has like an overnight transformation. And when I say overnight, I'm talking like Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 1 on a cellular level transformation. He gets given, like, I call it like an avatar body. You know what I mean? Like when you go into an MMO, you have like this insane body with an insane look, but he doesn't realize like that his body has changed so much. So when he goes back to school, everyone's like, who's this guy? This guy must be a model or something. Like, who is he? Who is he? And then he's like, no, it's me, the fat kid. Like, it's amazing because, like, he still thinks in his mind, he still doesn't know, like, how good he is. But because of the amount of time he spends in this fantasy world, everything about him is just, like, exceptional. And, like, because of... And, of course, things change in the real world for him. So he starts going to a better school and stuff like that. But it's not because of his now amazing good looks or his incredible bod. It's just because, as a person, he's always been great. And it's such a nice message, if you know what I mean.
Sounds like a lovely so when you initially isekai'd me, I was like I literally said on my last episode that I'm kind of fed up with isekais. But you know, you've made me feel something today. I'm actually intrigued. I might give this a go.
I really enjoyed first 3 episodes, because yeah, it's, to me, this is probably like a jobless reincarnation level of isekai. Like, that show was just, again, from its animation to its storytelling, was exceptional. With this, the style of it is is gorgeous. Like the detail on the eyes, especially, is just incredible. But it's the confidence of the hero. It's not like he's in the isekai and then he kind of switches personality. A bit like the slime anime. You know what I mean? Like he kind of forget that he was this 30-year-old guy. You in your mind, you're just like, well, he's always been this like plucky, I don't know, 16-year-old. But yeah, in this, it's kind of he still has his own like inner doubts and stuff because he still thinks of himself as this grotesque big person, not this God-given model / hero that everyone sees him as. So yeah, it's really amazing. It's really amazing.
Awesome. I'll have to give that a go. Sound off in the comments if you've also watched it.
And his armor is sweet as hell. So
well, that might just make it all the more worth it to watch.
Absolutely.
Should I move on to my other one? I've only been watching one other relevant anime at the time. I think you know what it is.
Yeah, talk to me, buddy boy.
Hell's Paradise, guys. Hell's Paradise is finally here, and we're 3 episodes in, and it is not disappointing at all. It is beautifully animated, very accurate, very, very close to the manga. I think that I only had one thing in the most recent episode where I was like, and that was because one of the executioner's eyes were a bit too far apart for my liking. Yeah, I was like, that looks like it might have been a rush job on that one particular character, but everything else was fine. So
yeah,
I don't remember. Have you read any of the manga?
I think I read the first chapter or the first volume because I got it in physical.
You did.
Yeah, but that was like a good year or 2 ago now. Yeah, but I love this art style. I love the use of flowers and insects in this and stuff. My wife watched the 3rd episode with me. She hadn't watched the first 2, so I had to kind of tell her what had happened previously. And she was like, "This is just weird. Like this is just weird, no matter which way you look at it." Obviously, the context. I guess it's things like the insects with human faces, and the fish man that it kind of ends on. But I just love what really surprises me with this is for a shonen, the character depth. Like, this is a character who had previously been completely emotionless, and he's dealing with emotions, but in the worst possible situation. Like,
yeah, he's been trained to the emotions only slow you down, and you shouldn't have them to be able to do what you do. And he's like, and then they wife him, and he's now in this horrible situation where he's being punished by the fact that he loves his wife.
This is it.
And he loves her so much that he's willing to literally do anything to reunite with her.
Which is a crazy concept for a shonen, considering that audience gets a little bit of romance, but it's a side plot to the action and everything else. So to have
his main character trait is that he loves his wife.
Yeah, so I think it's like, again, the amount of layers to it, I think it's just exceptional, and I love it already. I'm so looking forward to more of it because
it's gonna get so crazy, man.
Yeah, and the direction of it as well. Oh, yeah, different aspects of it as well, like introducing not only ninjas but samurai. In the 3rd episode, he fights like a criminal monk, and it's just kind of like, oh man, this is like every flavor topping I ever wanted in like one Sunday. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's very good. Obviously, we've expressed in the past that we know, we love the darker shonen.
Mm.
So to be able to, see it done so well in anime is incredible. Really, really fun. Like you said, that the kind of like the color palette and like the like tones, like like the flowers everywhere and the vibrant like abundance of like nature is like really used in a really cool way to kind of, it really makes you feel uncomfortable. And I think that in the third episode, Gabimaru comments on it. She's like, his execution is like, this is incredible, and he's like, this is creepy because none of this should be here. There's no reason for any of this to be here.
Absolutely.
So, really looking forward to see where it goes, especially knowing exactly, like, if you watch it right now and you're like, this is weird, this is makes no sense, it's gonna get weirder for sure.
Yeah. I know it's probably a little premature to say, because we're only 3 episodes in, but out of the Dark Trio, on an anime level, what's your sort of ranking at the moment?
I don't really think I can. I know that this is a podcast that is famously known for ranking things on occasion, but I don't know that I can really rank them against one another because they've all kind of got their own like things that they do extremely well.
Yeah.
So I'm reticent to do so, especially at the moment. Maybe give me a couple more months and I'll have a different opinion. But right now, I think they're all pretty level. So I'm just looking forward to seeing more good anime like this.
100%. I'm with you there. Talking of good anime, this is probably gonna be my last one to kind of shout about, because I am him. Eden Zero, second season.
Ladies and gentlemen, him.
If you didn't think I wasn't going to bring this up, you obviously haven't been listening to this podcast long enough. Eden Zero season 2, I think it's 2 episodes in, maybe 3. I watched them like back to back, so forgive me.
It all blurred into one.
It blurred into one. I was just glad to be part of the ride. Brilliant. Unapologetically just jump straight into it. What surprises me, I'm like, let's buckle in. It gives you a recap in like 2 minutes of a full season, and half of it I was like, have I seen this, all of this? And then
did this happen, or was that fairy tale?
Yeah. And then it showed something else, and I was like, no, I definitely saw that bit, so I know. Yes. But then it made me think as well, because the first season was on Netflix, and then they split into 2 parts, and then I think it was like, it must have been a good 6 to 8 months between part 1 and part 2. So when I come to the second season, I'm like, I'm struggling to remember bits because of Netflix's bloody release schedule. So, but anyway,
just give it us all at once, Netflix. You've set up this culture of, you release a full season of something and everyone watches that full season in a single day. You can't then suddenly go, I'm gonna release part of a season and then make you wait.
Yeah. It's tricky.
Do not.
But yeah, second season just kind of jumped straight into things. They're being followed by another ship, which is Draken. They doesn't even show you the sequence where they go from their ship to the other ship. They're just there. They're just like, poof, we're here. We need to find Draken, beat him. Draken's got people on their ship, and the fight just happens.
Just straight into it.
Straight into it. Don't even worry about it, mate.
just good old space traveling fun.
You're here to see space magic fights. here you go, kid, eat it up. And it's like
They
wow.
knew exactly. It's like they made this for you. Is there just humor me here? Is there punching and shouting and giant robots?
There hasn't been a giant robot yet.
Has there been a little robot? Because I recall there being a little robots.
There are little
robots.
There are little robots. Yeah. There's female robots that have new battle armor. There is Happy. Is there Happy the cat, as always? Fantastic.
There's also a gun.
There's a dream sequence of things that may come to fruition, a dark future, which is interesting. So keep watching, guys. But yeah, loads of fun, loads of costume changes, and one thing I found really weird is one character, his power, he turns into like a Power Ranger.
Are we talking about this universe's Grey?
Yes.
He's got like he's got like the power to kind of like control technology.
Yeah.
And like he can use it to like armor himself and make weapons. Can he? So I'm just trying to go off what I remember from the manga.
Yeah, you're right.
And he does Power Ranger up.
Yeah.
And I believe that there's a whole part where he's like, "I'm not going to help you," and then he keeps appearing as fully armored and like disguised as like this mystery figure. Is that something that happens, or am I imagining that?
I don't think it happens yet. He joins the gang because he has a message from his future self, who's like a 50-year-old man, who in the current time, because this person's from the past.
Yes, they go to like the planet that's caught in like the time stop, don't they?
That's right, yeah. So yeah, that's hilarious. But his disguise that he always likes to transform into is like a super sexy woman, which is like questionable. But he's just kind of like, look at me, I'm a super sexy woman. Like, lads. Yeah. This is hilarious, lads. So yeah, that's always fun. But yeah, it's what can I say? It's the happy meal of the season.
Literally.
Yeah.
You even get a toy.
If you're lucky. So yeah, Eden Zero Season 2. If you just want something fun to watch with good animation and don't need to use any brain power, this is the one. There we go.
Do it.
Is that the episode?
I'd say so. The only other anime that I'm watching is completely flashback because I was like, there's a new season of Ancient Mage's Bride come out, but I've not watched Ancient Mage's Bride season 1 in a long time, so let's restart that. So I've started rewatching Ancient Mage's Bride. What can I say? It's beautifully animated. It's a very sweet story, very interesting world building. We won't go too much into it. That's not what I'm about today. But it is something that I am rewatching at the moment, and I'm enjoying seeing again. So
that's cool. Yeah, I need to do the same really, because I don't think I finished the first season.
Yeah, it's a lot. If you're used to watching like higher octane stuff, it's no Fast and the Furious. It's a very slow burn, but it's nice. You know, if you want something on in the background, do something crafty or something. You do have to pay attention, but should be paying attention to everything, really, shouldn't you? So
yeah, there's a level of that. Talking of paying attention, there is a new series that's like the highest rated thing currently going called Oshi no Ku or Ko. It's like this pop star series. Its first episode was 19 minutes long, and people are saying, and again, going on these sites like My Anime List and this one, AniList, it's the 6th highest rated of all time. so it's being talked a lot about, but I haven't got around to watching it yet because 90 minutes for a first episode is a tall order.
It's rough. That's a short Marvel movie.
It's very true. This is very true. So
okay, maybe we can give that a discussion in the future then.
Maybe next time. But yeah, let us know what you guys are watching. What are your standouts of the season so far? Have we missed anything? Let us know. Use the comments down below. Of course, follow us on all the social media. Check out, links will be in description down below. Join me on twitch.tv/Zane Taichou. I'll be carrying on playing Zone of the Enders and probably talking more about anime news and things that I'm watching. Susie Day, anything more to add?
Enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy the weekend.
Though by the time this episode goes out, I don't think it'll be the weekend anymore. So don't enjoy the weekend. Have a good week. Drink plenty of water. It's getting, it's spring. Spring is finally here. The sun's coming out. Get outside. Absorb some of those like delicious sun rays. Don't go. Pardon me for saying this, guys, but go touch grass.
Pearls of wisdom, as always. Pearls of wisdom, as always. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we will no doubt catch you in a fortnight. See you soon. Ciao.